What is up, guys? Hunting season is right around the corner. Let's talk about what bow I'm running this season.
What's going on, guys? My name's Jordan. This is my brother Jason,
And we are the Big Adventure Bros.
the Big Adventure Bros.
All right, what's going on, guys? Hunting season is right around the corner, and I wanted to make a video talking about what bow I'm running, what kind of accessories I've got on it, the upgrades I've made to it, and my arrows, my release, and maybe even what I store it in. So let's get into it. This is a bow. I bought this bow, I think 3 years ago. This is my first compound bow. I bought a recurve bow from my grandpa before he passed away, and it kind of sparked my interest into bow hunting. After shooting that recurve, I very quickly realized that recurve may not be my thing. I think like a couple of weeks later, I went to Bass Pro Shops and bought this bow. This is a Bear Species XT. Bear Species XT. It's a ready to hunt package. So it comes with your peep, it comes with a rest, it comes with a really cheap like 3-pin sight, comes with a stabilizer and all that. Just a very simple ready to hunt. I think it runs like maybe $400 or $500. This is a 55 to 70 pound bow. I think mine's dialed in about 65. It is the draw length on it is 23.5 to 30.5. I think my draw length is 30 or 29 or 30 or something like that. So it's very close to maxing it out. It is a single cam design, so there's only one cam on the bottom here. So a little bit limited to your adjustability. All in all, it's a good bow. So let's get into some of my modifications. I quickly realized that that the sight was pretty cheap and the release was pretty cheap. I had bought it with, it's like one of those Whisker biscuits. The freaking fibers were all messed up already when I bought it. So I very quickly realized that I wanted to make some upgrades. One of the first upgrades that I did make was I got a new string. I don't know what company it is. I had my local shop put it on, but this is a green and brown string. It looks pretty sick with the camo. The reason I did that is because the peep that comes with this sight, it has a tube. It's one of those tubed peeps. So when you draw back, the tube pulls down on it and lines it up with your eye. I hated that. Absolutely hated it. It was terrible. It kept popping off because I think my draw length was too long or something. I don't know. Kept popping off. So very quickly I realized that I needed a new string. The string that came with the bow, you had to run a tubed peep. So new string means new tubeless peep sight. So went with that. And then I think my second modification I made was I did buy a new sight. So this is a single pin black gold sight. It's got my sight tape over here. You just flick this lever and then you're able to adjust it down and stuff. The current sight tape that I'm running on it is a 247.5 feet per second. So yeah, I like the single pins. I like being able to draw back and only see one pin. Usually the deer that I'm shooting are 20 to 30 yards, and there's not much different when you're shooting 20 to 30. I can adjust for that depending on where I aim. I've had good success with the single pin. I also like this sight because it's got the fiber optic housing at the top, and that actually changes with the sunlight. So it turns purple when it's sunny out, which keeps that pin from being so bright. So at low light, it'll turn clear like this, picking up as much light as possible. During sunlight, it turns darker, picking up less light, so it's not blinding you and it's not too bright. Moving on to the rest, I have a trophy ridge drop away rest. So after you shoot, it drops away. I like this. Very little resistance on the arrow. It makes for more accuracy. The Whisker Biscuit, like I said, like I mentioned previously, my Whisker Biscuit was already messed up straight from the store. So this is a very significant upgrade. This is not cam driven. This is string driven. So it's got a little string here mounted to my cables, and when you pull back, it gets tight, and when you shoot, it releases down, and it's gone out of the way before your arrow even leaves your bow. So I like it. I think it's pretty sick. Moving on to a stabilizer, I have a Trophy Ridge 10-inch stabilizer with the 2 weights that are provided. I love this thing. It helps once you shoot, the bow wants to go down, which is good. That's what you want when you shoot. As for the quiver here on the side, I've got it's a Trophy Ridge quiver. It's a 5-arrow quiver. It's decent. I wish it was a little bit longer so my arrows wouldn't stick out the back. My arrows stick out the backside. So if I wanted to put a kickstand on the bottom of my bow with the quiver on, my arrows dig into the ground, which is unfortunate. I wish it was I could slide up a little bit more. It's maxed out currently, so I'd rather it stick out up here than down there to protect my fletching and stuff. So, but yeah, as for arrows, I've got 2 types of arrows. I started out with the X5 Envies. This is the 340 arrows here. X5 Envies. They're good arrows. They're made by Blackout. These are good. I like these. I use them as my practice arrows now. And for my hunting setup, I have the Gold Tip Velocity XTs in that 340 again. Let's see. I can measure the length for you. .29 3/4 is what I'm running. And same glow knocks. And for my broadheads, I'm running the Magnus Stingers 150 grain. These are the 4-bladed variants. These are awesome. I resharpen them and reuse them. Sometimes they will break because of the thin metal design that they have, but these are awesome. I've never had any problems with these. The only issue is sometimes they do break, but for like $30 for 3 of them or something. I think they're $10 a piece, around that. They're worth it. You could completely take them apart and sharpen every single blade on this. The smaller ones are a little bit aggravating to sharpen, but I do have a sharpening system to where I can get these just about as sharp as they come from the factory. So, and as for my release, I am running a thumb release. This is a B3 Exit. The Hunter Edition. This is a pretty sweet little release. It comes with a wrist strap. It did come with a strap like a traditional style, trigger release. I don't like drawing the bow back with the release. I like this. I like drawing it back with my fingers. I did opt to put a little lanyard on this so I do not drop this out of the stand or out of my saddle and stuff. The only issue that I do have with this is most thumb releases grips to your D-loop. This just hooks to the D-loop. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, it's strong and will hold the bow, but I see some people leave this release hooked to the bow and then just let it dangle. Mine can't do that because it's just literally hooked and it's not gripping that D-loop. So that's the only gripe that I have with that. Other than that, it's awesome. I did find a very significant difference with accuracy and target panic and stuff like that, moving from a trigger style to a thumb release. I do carry my trigger style in my bag for backups. If I do drop this or if it breaks, then my hunt is over for the most part. So I do carry a Blackout trigger style release that I got at Bass Pro Shops. So that's it for my bow and my my archery setup this year. I can show you what I carry this in. I'll get it all set up and show you in a second. All right, so this is my Plano bow case. I have I've riveted a bag up here, some tools and stuff, some wax, some string wax, stuff like that, some maintenance stuff. I got some backup knocks and stuff like that. But to put my bow in here, I do have to take the quiver off, and I do have to take this stabilizer off. So I'll take those two off. And then I could set the bow down in here like that, so it's nice and snug. And I did modify the quiver or the arrow situation over here, so it will clip in my arrows in my quiver, so I don't have to take the arrows out of the quiver, just like that. And then the stabilizer just goes in this little shot cord that I got here, and it'll sit right there. And then I can put my release in this little pouch here. Everything is nice and protected. I did also opt to design and make these little catches, I guess, because before this usually folds all the way out flat, and it still will because I have buckles here and I can undo them. But I've tied a little catch here, so when the bow is in there and I open it up, it just catches the top from falling all the way down. And if I wanted to, I can unbuckle each side like that, and it will open like it should. So just little modifications that we've made. So that is my compound bow setup for this year and what I've been rocking for the past couple years. This is what I'll be rocking for a little bit longer until I upgrade to maybe a Hoyt or a Matthews. But this thing is tried and true. I love this thing. I've definitely hiked a long time with this guy, and I think it's perfect. So super happy with my setup. And yeah, if you guys want to see anything else, like what's in my bag, my climbing setup, so I could do a video about that stuff. I can do a video about my pack and what I'm carrying in my book bag going into the woods. But other than that, hunting season is right around the corner. Other than that, guys, that's been my bow setup. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.